What is fiction? In its simplest term, it is an imaginary story. When your kids read fiction books, they can be anything they want, whether it's a fairy princess or a Three Musketeer, it doesn't matter because fiction is where imaginations run wild. Miller and Usborne Books are phenomenal when it comes to fiction. We have things like The Wizard of Oz or Little Women that are classics and tried and true. But then we have things like I Want to Be an Astronaut that helps your children to imagine what it would be like to be in these different settings. What a great book. Our Peek Inside fairy tale series is phenomenal. For a young age, getting the basics of classic fairy tales and fun things like Peek Inside Peekaboo that they can play. There's some flaps and things in this series and just amazing illustrations. Okay, what's better than making up your own stories? And you know what? Our Muddle and Match series is perfect for that. So each book has 3 different divisions. So this side is alliterative. Marvin the Mighty Monkey moves towards the mark on the map to meet the mysterious magical meerkat. But you know what? Your kids can make zany stories of their own and then tell even more stories based on the pictures. How fun to make up your own silly stories with a book. Check out all 7 books in the Muddle and Match series. If you have an emerging reader, I highly suggest our Phonics Readers series. The newest is Hyena Ballerina, and it works on a specific sound throughout the book. Each of the Phonics Readers does this. This is the E of hyena and ballerina, but it's a beautiful picture book with a great fictional story. And then each of the Phonics Readers also has some information for parents in the back. I can't tell you enough about the complete book of Farmyard Tales. So when I started, I fell in love with this book. You want to know why? It is essentially a grow with your child book. Note, it has a CD in here. It's a collection of 20 different stories, but what I want to show you here in this fiction book is the 2 levels of text. This is a 1st grade reading level. This is about a 2nd to 3rd grade reading level. What it means is when you have younger children, you can start and just read the top line, which makes a very simplistic but complete story. Or if you have a child that doesn't have much of an attention span, then you can start adding the lower text as well as you're reading. Then, once your child is starting to read, it can become a shared reading book. They read the top line, you read the bottom, and then they can move on as they strengthen their reading skills. Now, classic fiction. I absolutely love our beautiful illustrated stories collection. This is a collection of a number of classic adventure stories. The Count of Monte Cristo, The Three Musketeers, Don Quixote. Amazing illustrations in these, divided into chapters, great for your as a read aloud for younger children, say 4 or 5 or up, but then 8 and up, it's great for them to read themselves. Highly suggest the Illustrated Stories collections. So many different books from Arabian Nights to Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tales. And when talking about fiction, we can't forget picture books. So Cordelia is the epitome of imagination. And what's great about fiction is that you can have an imaginative story that ties in and teaches children about things they need to know in their life, like standing up for what they believe in, or a fiction book about bullying, or how to deal with the what ifs in life. You know what? We've got you covered with chapter books and novels too, from emerging reader, beginning chapter, to, Yeti superheroes, or a 10-year-old girl spy. And we even have chapter books for teenagers. With Usborne Books and more, we've got you covered for fiction for newborns through teens.